The guys on top of Fortune 500 companies, right? What was their biggest investment? Immediately, they may think financial investment, but the biggest investment is in friendship. It's in
relationship.
Yes, in their relationship. Because if you ask them where they took their biggest losses, there's a column that simply states in Forbes that says married and divorced, right? And this is where Fortune 500 companies turn into Fortune 250.
Yeah.
R&B singer Babyface, who is the simp king of R&B. I don't know if that translates into his real life, because a lot of times these R&B singers, they don't live the life they sing about. You know, they sing about it, but it doesn't actually apply to the way they interact with women at all. But they know it'll sell, and as they write songs for their fan base. The same way I make content for my followers, for my subscribers, as all content creators do. But he was married to Tracy Edmonds, who before and after him has made her rounds, and she's dealt with a few men. Then after that, he married an actress on That 70s Show, which is, you know, not the type of comedy that I or maybe you are into, but I mean, she's an actress and people know who she is. They got divorced. They separated in summer of 2021. And it was an amicable split, meaning there was no animosity or any of those things. But Babyface still has to pay her $37,500 a month in spousal and child support. And the crazy thing about that is that based on what some of these other celebrities have dealt with recently, that's not even a lot of money. You can go anywhere to get the lies, but I know you came here to get the truth. Welcome to the Alphasphere.
Welcome to the Alphasphere, the only place on the planet that's totally engulfed in positivity and totally submerged in alpha energy. I'm your host, Dr. BOA.
Now, they have a 14-year-old daughter, and he filed for divorce, which I told you men before, whether you file for divorce or she files for divorce, you still got to pay. You're going to pay regardless. As a man, you're going to pay regardless. It is up to you. That just goes to show that it doesn't matter what your intentions are with a woman. In divorce, a woman will take what she can get from you, no matter how much she made or earned or gained when you were together. Here's another thing. He's also agreed to maintain lease payments for her Cadillac Escalade. Now, a lot of times we look at guys and we say, okay, you knew better. But here's the thing. You don't know better. As a man, you are living life based on what you were taught. And for some men, it's so entrenched in their psyche that they just continue to do it. Let me tell you, the worst thing that can happen to a man today is to have parents that are still together. If you got parents that are still together, man, or parents that were together until they passed, or one of them passed, or they just never divorced, man, they were together for decades, man, you have to understand it has put you in a mindset where you are destined to try to recreate that for the rest of your life. That's why you have a man who's been married 4 or 5 times and he continues to do it because he's looking at his parents and he wants that. You know why he wants that? Because of the way it affected him as a child. Here's the problem with that. If you can't find a woman who's like your mother and willing to stay in there with your like she did with your father, then it's not going to work. You're never going to be able to do it. So not just that, there is the agreement to cover her expenses, her education expenses, which Babyface has agreed to cover 75 or 65% of that. And of course, the mother will cover the other 35%, and she'll pay full cost of her own travel and accommodations for said college visits. Here's the thing, man. When you think about this, you must keep in mind that that's easy for her to do if he's going to pay 65% of it. And he's giving her $37,000 a month. $37,000 a month, man, that's not peanuts. That's not peanuts at all. So she can afford to live an amazing life, plus whatever money she's made. Now, Babyface is still performing, man, and he just performed at the Super Bowl, and with country singer Chris Stapleton. But it still doesn't matter because when you're making money to pay out money to someone you're not with anymore, and that's what I want to focus on right now. He also had to break bread with Tracy Edmonds in divorce and has her tied into all of his stuff. You know, they have companies together, music producing companies, movie production companies. They have a lot of companies together. So she's tied into his money. So you have two choices. You can either tie the woman into your business, like Russell Simmons did with Kimora Lee, or you can pay the money after the divorce and just pay the money outright to the woman, like DJ Mustard, like Exhibit, like Dr. Dre. And the list goes on with guys. And see, we talk about these celebrity guys because their divorces are public. But if we do some research, we'll see that many men are like this. I personally know men who paid a lot of money, a lot of money. I know a man who paid his old lady $100,000 a year. When they divorced, the kid was 11. He paid her $100,000 a year for 7 years. That's $700,000. Now, granted, that's not celebrity money, but he ain't making celebrity money. $100,000 a year to give somebody, man, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money to have to give someone you're not with anymore, and they could go on and take care of the next man with that money, or take care of the next man's kids with that money, or blow that money and then go back to court and ask for more money when they see you making more money. It just doesn't make any sense, man. And I keep pointing out these experiences, man, to let you guys see that marriage in the modern world, when you add the legal ramifications to it, there are gonna be financial detriments to you as a man. Even during the marriage, there are financial detriments. Let me tell you something. Find me a man who lives in a house and then he gets married. I bet he gets a bigger house. Or he bought a house that was too big for him with the express intent of marrying a woman and putting her in the house. It's automatically a more expensive life as a married man because you take on the responsibility of provision and protection for your family, however many members of your family. And in Steve Harvey's case, you take on provision and protection for another man's family and another man's family. See, what you got to remember is this. Lori Harvey is not the child of the D-boy. That's not even his child. So what you men have to understand is that you go into a situation with a woman, man, and you are taking care of other men's children while those men are still alive, which alleviates those men's necessity. And it's no big deal. It doesn't make you a man to replace a man as the father of his own kid, man. That's nothing to write home about. That's nothing to brag about. If you do it, fine, but don't be around here beating your chest like you're doing something, dog, because you're really not. We got to stop acting like we still live in a day and age where legal marriage is worth the risk. Yes, you got to take risk in all facets of life if you want to gain something. But there is nothing to gain with legal marriage. Because 9 times out of 10, by the time you legally marry a woman, you're already living together, already being intimate, already splitting bills, already have children. What's the point in adding the legality to a situation that is already set? Gone are the days where a woman just makes you wait. She's a virgin and she's only going to be with her husband. Those days are gone. When women stop being virgins, the necessity and logic of marriage went out the window. There's no way a man should consider legally marrying a woman who is not a virgin. There's just no way. It was never intended to be that way. And at the very least, she's been with one man and that was her husband. See, I would take a woman who's been married to one man and only been with that one man. I'll take her before I'll take a woman who's never been married before, but has been in and out of these situations with these men. Let me tell you something. A marriage is the only true relationship. Everything else is a situationship. And I don't necessarily mean legal marriage. I mean, once you establish a relationship where you and a woman are living like you're her husband, she's your wife, y'all are living together. I mean, the bills, you understand what I'm saying? If the living arrangement is equal to what a married living arrangement is, then you are married. And what I'm saying is this. Why would you be in that situation and then go and say, okay, Mr. Government, you know what? I like you so much. I believe in you like you believe in me. I trust you, Mr. Government. Go ahead and put yourself right on into this situation. And then your situationship becomes a business partnership. At that point, the business is going to end. No business lasts forever. No business lasts forever. Even the longest standing business that we have right now, they haven't been around forever. Even a business that's been around 100 years isn't forever. You see what I'm saying? There is no thing in business that lasts forever. And if it does last forever, it is not profitable forever, unless you're a woman who has gotten a man to add the legal system into his personal relationship with you. If you're a woman who has done that, pat yourself on the back. Give yourself kudos, because you have done the most amazing thing in the world, and that is convince a man, whether through your words or your actions, no matter how true those actions are, to give you access to half of his worldly possessions. But maybe I'm being a little bit hard on these women about this marriage thing, man, and going through this divorce, getting this money like this, man, even though they're supposed to, be down with you, man, and want what's best for you, man. Maybe I'm being too hard on them. Maybe I'm being too hard on the suckers that keep going down this legal marriage path, man. Maybe I'm exhibiting a little bit of toxic masculinity. I don't know. I don't think so. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.